Hi, I'm Cole Larkin, and this is Panther Primer.
Cole Larkin, good to have you back again.
Yeah, it's good to be back.
All right, buddy. So, Cole, I want to address the elephant in the room first of all, I guess. You look at last weekend, team was sitting 2 points out of possible second place, 1 point up in St. Mary's, Acadia and St. Mary's in for the weekend, and let's just say come out on the wrong side of the score sheet.
Yeah.
But I think there's more to the story, Cole, at least from my perspective there was, and kind of disappointing, let's be honest, to lose, to not secure any points in either one of those games, especially against teams that you're kind of chasing. But I'm kind of interested, what was your perspective as a player in those two games?
Yeah, I mean, obviously there are key 4 points for us to get, but obviously it didn't work out. It's unfortunate, but I think if you look at our games kind of in the whole scope of things, like it wasn't like we played 2 bad games. We were right in both games. We were leading against SMU. I think it kind of just came back to in the Acadia game. We allowed those 3 quick goals and just
44 seconds.
Yeah, you don't see that happen very often, and like it's unfortunate we kind of came out on the wrong end of that one. But and then even similar against St. Mary's, we're playing a good game, and then again just 2 quick goals. So I think if you look at the positives, I think we're happy with how we played, but obviously just clean those things up and hopefully learn from that.
And if you think about it, the sequence of events, like take the first game against Acadia, face off in the offensive zone. You were actually on the point, I think. You and Derek were on, and the puck there's a shot going on the net, hits a leg. You're kind of flat-footed. Derek's kind of flat-footed. The big fella runs up through the middle, and you can't catch him. So a little bit of puck luck happening there too, I think. Right?
Yeah.
So in light of that, Cole, like how does the team respond to that? You've had kind of a few days to lick your wounds and kind of reflect on it, and because the circumstances were different about the St. Mary's loss of a lead and the Acadia loss of a lead. So what kind of response has there been from the team in terms of the mindset or the reflection on those games?
Yeah, I think it's definitely a learning experience. We definitely learn from those things. That's kind of what regular season's for. We want to get those wrinkles out of the way before we start the playoffs. But I think if you just look at it, you do a little bit of video, you kind of look at what went wrong. Like you say in the SMU game or Acadia game, it starts off with we're in the O zone. Turns out that's the first goal against. Like you just kind of look back, and those things, you can say they're unlucky, but we can do things to fix them too. I think just speaking for myself, we're kind of thinking offense and not even worrying about defense, and then like you say, it happens so quick, and then we're down 1-0. So I think we treat it as more of a learning experience, but at the end of the day, it's nothing we can do now, and it's just time to get back to work and prepare for this week.
Is there an element of having a short memory being an added bonus there, and kind of doing that as well too? Yeah,
exactly. I think this late in the year, you just kind of have to turn the page. Like there's nothing we can do about it now, so you just kind of, like I said, you learn from it. You try and do things to help us out this week and in the playoffs, and just move on.
And if you think about that, Cole, I've been following this program for a long time, and I've never seen standing so tight this late in the year, and I've never seen so much volatility with regards to the standings. And if you look at the team this year, take Acadia out of the equation, that was pretty much, apart from the overtime win here, it was 4 losses. But apart from that, winning record against St. Mary's, winning record against UDM and St. FX, and 2-2 against UNB. So when you look at that and you think about the how tight everything has been this year, what does that do in terms of your guys' mindset as you prepare to wrap up the season and then move into the playoffs?
Yeah, like you said, I think every game, those top teams, like you mentioned, they're all so close. Every game can go either way. Like you said, we don't have the best record against Acadia, but even those games, I think we've had some great battles against them.
Yep.
So I think that helps us in a way in our own confidence in ourselves. We know that we focus on these 2 last games in regular season, and then it's looking like we're going to have St. Mary's. So even just our mindset going in, I think it's a real positive.
Right. So Cole, if you think about that, let's move on from that. We'll move on to some other things. But your family connection to the UPI programs, hockey programs, is quite deep. You got first cousins Ali and Kelly, who were, pillars of the women's hockey program there for a while.
Yeah.
Ali's partner, TJ Shea, of course, a strong player here, and for UPI a few years ago.
Yeah.
And then you got your sister, Abby, doing some good things over in Dalhousie as well. Can you maybe sort of speak to that, about what that's like, having so many close relatives or even immediate family members all involved in youth sport hockey?
Yeah, it's been really cool. I think that even kind of ties back to my choice on coming back to PEI. Watching Ali and Kelly play in front of our friends and family, I think it's pretty cool to be playing at your home university, and to be able to get the opportunity to do that. I thought that would be really cool. Like you said, they had long careers here. They had successful years here. So I think it's pretty cool to have that in the family. And even now, they still come watch our games now.
I was just going to say that. I said, I don't think they miss too many games. And of course, Troy, a longtime hockey lover as well too. He's up there a lot as well too. Exactly. That must be nice, right?
No,
so
really
playing
cool.
in front of family and friends.
Yeah. I try not to look up in the stands too much in the games, but even afterwards, talking to my parents and stuff, and knowing that they show the support and stuff, it's pretty cool. It's cool to be able to play in front of them.
And got to give props to your sister too. I mean, AUS Rookie of the Year, all rookie team, putting up pretty good numbers on a team that's, they're not a top level team, but here she is performing. You got to feel pretty good about that.
Yeah, I know for sure. I was definitely proud of her the last 2 years. She's stepped into the league pretty good last year. She had a really good year herself. She's a really skilled player, and I think they just used her in opportunities to allow her to showcase that. And I think last year she did really well. Unfortunately, this year they didn't do as good. They're fighting for the last playoff spot. I'm not sure if it's looking too good for them now, but she's done well. I'm proud of her.
Bit of a contrast in style. You're known more of on the defensive side of things. Abby's clearly on the offensive side of things. How did that happen? Like, you're, and maybe I'll talk about it in a minute, but, very clearly 2 different styles.
Yeah, no, it's funny. My dad sometimes makes fun of us for that. He says he coached us a similar way, but one ended up being offensive and one ended up being more defensive style. But no, it's kind of just a family joke. She's always just had a knack for that. Always been more the skilled one. So it's pretty funny how that worked out.
Cool. So, Cole, if you think back, like this is a big weekend, seniors night. You will be one of 4 graduating seniors, yourself, Patty LeBlanc, Alex DeGagne, and Tim Gould. And if you think back, it just seems like yesterday that you and I were sitting up in remember we met up in the summer and we had a little chat, It doesn't seem like that long ago, right? You and I and Kieran, and we're up there talking, but when you think back, Cole, you come in 18 rookies on that team, and a big task on a major rebuild. Yeah. When you sort of look back through that, where you started and where the team is at now, how do you process that, or what do you think about that?
I think it's, like you said, it was all part of the process. I think we kind of dealt with a few things along the way. That first year we probably exceeded our expectations a little bit. We had a pretty solid first year. And then obviously last year coming in with higher expectations and not really working out as we hoped. Yeah. I think just that little bit of adversity helped us coming into this year. I think this year, like you said, with the league being so close, a lot of close games, I think we've overall, we're not done yet. Obviously, the big playoffs coming, but overall, I think pretty successful year so far. And I think, like you said, it's just crazy how quick time flies, and it's crazy that this is already my 3rd year, and
And you don't want it to end.
No, I don't want it to end. Exactly.
That's good news to hear. We'll talk about that in a minute, maybe. But Cole, if you think about that, I think your play maybe mirrored some of the team play. You know, you come in, you had a really strong year, put up some good numbers, really. And I can't, you know, plus minus might be a debatable statistic, but I think it's indicative of things. Last year, it took a beating. This year, you're back up amongst the top 10 in the league, right? And I think it mirrors, that shows up in your play. And I think maybe yourself, you might have said that you had a disappointing last year, but have kind of rebounded nicely this year. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I think so for sure. You know, you never really know what to expect coming into the league, but I felt like coming in playing with Curtis Henry, he made it very easy. He's a good player to play with, obviously. And that first year I felt pretty good. And then obviously last year, I think just the whole team in general, just myself included, we could have had better years. We're kind of a little bit disappointed in the outcome and everything. And then, like you said, coming in this year, I feel like I'm playing with some confidence. And like you said, plus minus is kind of a tough stat in ways, but at the same time, you obviously want to have a good plus minus. So I think that's been better this year as well.
One of the things that we've always wondered about you, Cole, you know, you're big, you're mobile, you skate well, you shoot well, you pass, you do everything, but the kind of the general debate might have been, is there more of an offensive side to Cole Larkin, but you're defensively inclined. You're not your sister, right? But I'm finding that lately, you know, I think about that beautiful overtime goal when you set up Brett Brissett. The other night against Acadia, when it was a 1-0 game, Patty LeBlanc set you in on an area pass. You jumped up in from behind and you had a great scoring chance. Hadn't been for a 10-beller from Thomas Couture, that could have been a 2-0 game. So it seems to me like you're adding a little bit more offense to your game. Is that, or trying to, is that a conscious decision?
Yeah, I think overall just kind of trying to pick and choose my places. I mean, I don't want to ever, I think I'm always going to be a defensive mind at first. I'm not going to be the one leading the rush or anything
22
like that.
years is pretty hard to undo that habit.
Exactly. But I think, like you said, I think skating's one of my stronger suits. So trying to pick choices and pick my places and just add a little more offensive in my game. And I think that can overall just help the team and just be a little more two-dimensional. I think it can be good.
Good. Might we see you next year? You're graduating this year. You know, could you be back in the fold next year?
Yeah, I think I'm strongly considering doing my master's program. So as of right now, if I get into that program, I think I'm gonna try and do that.
Okay, you heard it first here in Panther Primer, folks. Could be back. We'd glad to have you back. But looking ahead, I know you work in the summertime with cousin Harry on the fishing boat. Lobster fishing going to be part of your future, or is that just a summer gig?
I love it. I think it's pretty cool. It's some early morning sometimes, but I enjoy it out there in the water. Whenever you get to nice days, it's pretty enjoyable. You never know what the future holds. Just expensive fleets around there now, so it's tough to get your hands on one. But no, you never know.
Well, I think you have two in the family there. And TJ is one, and Harry is one down there. So
no, it's definitely in the family.
It's in your blood too, right? Yeah, for sure. So Cole, if you kind of wrap it up here, just to kind of put a bow in things, you know, we've talked about the year, we talked about the playoffs and stuff like that. If I'm a fan and I'm coming into these last 2 games and I'm looking towards the playoffs, what kind of message might you give to the Panther faithful as we wrap up the season?
Yeah, I just think it goes back to, like we were talking about a little bit earlier, how close the league is. I think all the teams going into the playoffs this year have a chance to win it all. I think whenever we're at the top of our game playing how we can play, I think our team ourselves have a lot of belief in ourselves and confidence, a quiet confidence. So I think as a fan, just to believe in us too. They've seen all the games this year. They've seen some of the battles. They know how we can play whenever we're rolling. So I think the biggest thing is just excitement and really looking forward to getting playoffs started.
Awesome. Well, buddy, I'm excited, and I got quiet confidence that we're going to get it done this year. Sure. So all the best to finish off the year.
Awesome.
Congratulations on being a great leader for our team, for the team too as well.
Thank you.
Thanks, buddy.
Appreciate it.